What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol SYTA for Siyata Mobile. On the left-hand side, we do have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. We have not yet covered this stock together on the channel, so we'll start by giving ourselves a daily roadmap, if you will, just pointing out obvious areas of support and resistance. Then we'll talk more nuance as we drill down to the 30-minute intraday time frame. So quickly coming in and just pointing out areas that jump off the page at me. I'm trying to focus on levels that are inside of today's range, and then of course we will search additionally for a couple of upside targets if there is going to be some continuation here. So today's high, of course, tying in with this as well as this and kind of in here. After that, what are we seeing? Certainly a shelf here at 1065. Then we'll just go with this pivot high at 1265. So that's going to kind of wrap it up from the daily perspective. All I would note here was that this move has essentially come out of nowhere. It is being supported by good volume, and that is noteworthy. Okay, so as long as volume wants to remain elevated, fine, you can look for this one to be a player, but the caveat always is if volume tapers off to essentially being non-existent like it was in the past, then what you would expect to happen is just a return to sort of this slow and grindy move lower, which of course you probably don't want to be involved in to the long side. So keep an eye on volume. If it dries up, if lack of interest is sort of here, then again, step aside and probably let this thing do what it wants to do, which would be the slow grind lower. So that's it from the daily. Of course, big upper wick indicating some volatility, big expansion of range. Let's take a closer look through the lens, of the 30-minute intraday time frame here. So coming in with our Fibonacci's, all I want to see is, are any of these levels pairing up nicely with any of the other sort of levels that we've had mapped out? And not really, right? So nothing is really abundantly clear based on the fibs, but what I would add is if I just take those off now, look at what we have here, right? This is kind of the first area of resistance, which also tied in that 650 with that floor of support that we mapped out, and it then offered some support here on the secondary push higher and consolidation for the end of day run, which, I mean, ultimately, yes, I can see there, it was taken back and quite aggressively. I would also venture to point out that in the post market, we're currently trading 425 by 430, so way down here, okay? So the critical thing to be watching out for early on in tomorrow's session is, does $4 hold? If it holds, then fine. Maybe there's a rotation back up towards 650. There's really no structure in this area of the chart where we can say, okay, if this level breaks, this is what's going to happen. I would just say if it holds up above 4 and volume is on par with what we see in here, so just around 10 million shares per 30-minute bar, then again, maybe the rotation happens back towards 650. But if it cannot hold up above 4, if volume is not around 10 million shares per 30-minute bar, again, look out below. This is probably coming into that 272. It's going to be a one and done, pop and drop, excitement is over type of play. And again, you don't want to be caught up in that type of thing. So 4 is your critical number to be watching to the downside. After that, it's all going to depend on volume. You have the levels overhead mapped out, 650. After that, this one's not so important at 750. I'd really keep a close eye on here, 950, if we can recapture 650. And again, that whole volume play wants to pan out, and we see those 10 million share bars print, okay? So that's really going to wrap it up here inside of Siyata. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything new today, let me know in the comment section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.